looking forward to him because I told you, we texted very briefly after the game. And I hope he has done nothing but relax, eat Gucci Data cookies, and play video games or whatever the hell he likes to do. Because I know that was a big step for him last weekend. We were all what a great scene at the game. The 49ers, all the acknowledgments. The only thing I love more than Greg Papa is seeing and hearing the love that Greg Papa gets as he joins us right now. Greg, it's David Jason. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you? And how are those Gucci Dati cookies? Too many Gucci Dati in my body. I needed to get away from those, but we killed them all during the holidays, and then went back to work to some degree. And I'm doing my radio show. I'm driving to KNVR right now to do it today. I wish I was driving to Santa Clara, and I would be going with you to Philadelphia, but I did get clearance from my hematologist to do the last two home games. I couldn't do the Bears game. I just wasn't physically able to do it. I was experiencing some neurological issues preparing for the game. Jace, you'll know with your son, I had a couple of shots of lumbar puncture in my back on the day leading up to Christmas, and then right around the day after Christmas, I thought, I can't trust my eyes. I can't do it. So the morning of the Bears game, I said, I can't go, even though that was the plan. And then the next week, I did feel better. I didn't have that lumbar puncture where they shoot methotrexate or cytirapin in my spine every other week. So I felt better, and I felt I could. I actually went to walkthrough the day before the game, even though I wasn't feeling great, and just being on the field, seeing the players again, and one by one, they all came up to me and all the coaches, and it felt normal. And I could watch, I could bounce from field to field and do it all. So I said, I'm doing the game. And then it's a lot. I think the text I sent you, Dave, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It's not just doing the game. Once I get in that Lon Simmons broadcast booth and block everything out, and I worried about my eyes and my voice and my stamina, and especially with a night game. And then the damn Niners came out wearing all black, trying to make this even harder for me. Jesus. And but I was fine. But it's just logistically getting in and out of the booth and seeing everybody, and it's almost like attending your own wake. It's a little bit. It's heavy. So that was I'm not that I didn't love every minute of it, but it's a lot. And then after the game was over, Margaret, who runs the 8th floor where the press level is and the broadcast booths are, she gives me a big hug before every game for years. But she gave me an incredibly big hug.
You got a lot of hugs that day. We saw that. That was amazing.
But I got a lot of hugs from everybody.
Yeah.
But Margaret hugged me, and then she said, there's a 9-year-old girl here that's going to be in Nick Bosa's suite for the game. And you may have seen when they took a shot at Nick, he was flanked by 2 beautiful women, his girlfriend to one side, and this 9-year-old girl that has leukemia. And so I went in that suite after the game was over and visited with her and her family. Her dad, Frank, is a big Raider fan, so we got talking about that a little bit. And she had a big bowl of Skittles. I said, I wish I would have eaten these before the game. Maybe I would have had beast mode energy for the game more. But, that's the one moment I'll remember is the 9-year-old. And I'm getting through this, and some days it's harder than others. But I'm a grown man. They shoot stuff into me all the time. I don't know how a 9-year-old girl takes all the injections. And I think of your son, Jace, is a baby, days old, having to go through this. So sometimes I wonder if I should have done it, for myself physically. Should I have challenged myself? I don't need to do any more games. I don't need to do any more radio shows. That's not what this is about. But people do get uplifted by, just showing up for work and, showing that kind of strength in the middle of adversity. But really, what it does, if it does anything at all, it gives people, like my Skittles girl, just a little bit of encouragement, because she's my hero. I mean, she's the one that There's no way I could have done this at age 9. It's just incredible. So overall, it was an amazing experience. Took a lot out of me. And I've had a tough week physically trying to bounce back from it, but I'm okay. And I just wish, as I say, I was getting on that charter at 3:30 today and flying with the team. I went back to UCSF the day after the game on Monday, and I met with my medical staff, and they read all the articles. They're so proud of you that you didn't do the Bears game, and heard you on the Seattle game, and the team didn't play great, but you sounded great, and so proud that, you made some wise choices here. And then right after that, I said to him, how would you feel about me flying to Philadelphia? He says, oh, my God, no. Why would you ask me that? I was just praising you, how mature you are. What are you, a 9-year-old? So that's just not able to happen. But I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit. And it's hard because, my brother, who I lost at age 54 in 2009 from prostate cancer, my hero, Gary, was a sportscaster in Philly forever. And, to go back there and see his family and all the people that love him. And I've been doing a lot of interviews on Philadelphia TV and radio this week, too. So it's a hard game to miss. Any game's hard to miss. Hard game to miss because it's a playoff game, and a hard game to miss because it is it may not be the city of brotherly love for everybody. I don't know where the hell they came up with that is, because they are mean-spirited people there. But as far as I love them all. But as far as my brother, Gary, it is undeniably my city of brotherly love.
Yeah. Greg, I know you wish, like you said, you were broadcasting this week. That means they would have won. You'd be at home. But I know you said it was challenging for you, but the amount of people you were able to lift up, I got to say, I got emotional watching videos of people following you around, hugging you, acknowledging you. You were, saying hi to everybody. It was just, I was so fired up emotionally to see you back, and I just hope you know how many people you touched just by showing up and working again.
And they touched me. A lot of people that I thought, I didn't know if I'd see them again or what realm it would be, and to go back into that stadium and just park my car where I always park it in the Bill Walsh parking lot and Bill Walsh Way, and walk in and get a big hug from everybody. I mean, there's just literally hundreds of people that I've seen. And then, to go the day before to the walkthrough and be around the players and coaches and support staff. And, I didn't know if I'd be able to do it this year or any year. So, and almost every single one of them, if they could get a hold of me, reached out to me. And so they got me through this. But it was invigorating. It took a lot out of me to do it physically. But, hopefully I touched some people, but not as much as they touched me. There was just literally hundreds, maybe 1,000. I don't even know how many people. It doesn't matter the number, if it's one or, a billion. It matters the same to everybody. Everybody's individual. So anyway, it was, I've done a lot of games in my life in a lot of different sports. That was one that was truly, and we use this word way too much in the English language, unique. Means one of a kind. It's not very unique. There's no qualifiers on it. It's unique. What I did Saturday night was unique.
Well, we loved seeing you back. Unfortunately, the team could not get you the win that you and they and so many deserved. And Greg, I've been saying all week, anytime that we lose to Seattle, especially when it means something, I'm crushed for like a couple of weeks. But for some reason, I wasn't really that depressed. I just felt like the better team came in and the better team won. And sure, there were some things the Niners could have done differently, but I actually thought it probably should have been worse. What were your takes coming out of that game?
Well, I kept looking up at the scoreboard late in the game, and it said 13-3.
Yeah.
Like, is all the medicine that's confusing in my arm right now? Is it not 31-3? What am I watching?
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like that. It felt like we were not, for a while there it was one score, then it was, 13. And, there were some plays of McCaffrey, the play that got tipped by Boye Mafe and Christian. Honestly, can you recall Christian ever bobbling and dropping a ball like that?
Wow.
I can't recall it at Stanford. I can't recall it in the NFL. I've watched as many practices as I've watched with him. I've never seen him drop a ball. But it was a weird deflected ball. It was a hard ball. And then, the ball that Sam Darnold fumbled. And I felt probably from middle of the year that Seattle was the best team in the NFL on offense, defense, special teams. There were a couple of things they were not doing. They were not running the ball effectively for a long stretch. Those two backs were very inconsistent in their offensive line, which is young. Didn't quite get the push they got, and then they turned the ball over way too much for a great team. And a lot of it was the quarterback. Sam had 20 turnovers coming into Saturday night, the most in the NFL. Not just the 14 picks. He also fumbled 10 times and lost 6 of them. And I just said on the call, because I felt like their defense tonight is going to be a bitch.
Yeah.
They can't make a first down against them. Can't pick up a third down. It's so hard. Sam's going to have to give us the ball. And I was setting it all up, and then he pulls out from under center and gets stepped on by one of his linemen and tries to hand it off anyway and fumbles it. It's right there. If Yatura Gross-Matos comes up with that, it's an oblong ball and they bounce funny, that could have turned the game around. There were a number of plays that you look at and you wonder, would this have, turned the whole game around? Probably 2 or 3 that they could have flipped it, but really, there's no doubt the better team won the football game. The reason that it was so resounding of a victory for them kind of took your energy away, and you thought, like, what, how good are we? That 6-game winning streak to score 36 a game, whatever it was, and then the 3 games leading into the Seattle game, including that incredible Bears game. And thank goodness I didn't come back for that game. That would have been that game. You would have needed a gurney to get me out of the booth after that one. Wow. What a game that was. But so now, that's behind us. Seattle's a great team. Maybe we'll see them later. Maybe we won't. What is Philadelphia going to take from that game and apply it in an elimination game? It's a playoff game. So they have some things they do well, like Seattle. They can be that dominant, but I've also seen them just get run on. And they're young. Brandon Graham came back out of retirement, but he's not playing a lot of snaps. It's the young guys, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. They got, Nakobe Dean, a middle linebacker, will be back. They're just young. Seattle had young and dominant, but they also had Leonard Williams. They had DeMarcus Lawrence. They had, Jones IV, I call him, Jones the fourth, the middle linebacker. I got IV in my arm. I think it says Jones the fourth on his back, but it looks more like Jones IV every time I see him. What a player he is. And he's a veteran guy. So can the Niners take advantage of the youth of Philadelphia, I think, is the question of this game. And I've seen it happen. Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, when the Bears went into the link, they trampled them. They ran for almost 300 yards, like 281. Both of the Bears' backs went well over 100 yards. So I don't want to simplify it too much, but I think, and we got the last 2 offensive players of the year in this game, the last 2 guys that were on the cover of Madden. And, you can tell me it's a quarterback-driven league, but Saquon Barkley last year and Christian McCaffrey in 2023 dominated the league, they were the best offensive players in football and maybe the best 2 players in football, including quarterbacks. And, whichever one can get going in this game is going to be huge. Neither one has had the kind of year that they've had in years past. Christian better than Saquon, but Saquon's really capable at any moment. So turnovers will obviously be a huge factor, obviously, in the game. But I think both of these teams want to run the ball. And you have 2 of the most special, arguably, Christian's on his way to Canton. I think Saquon has a little more work to do, but he'll probably get there. 2 guys Canton eyes. So that's going to be the foundation of both of the offensive houses here. Which running back controls the game more? Is it both? Is it neither? And then what do you do? But if it's one as opposed to the other, I think that team will have a huge advantage.
Greg, in that winning streak for the 49ers, the offense was just so special. I mean, spectacular on so many levels, couldn't be stopped. Granted, we knew it would be tough. You said it against Seattle. So as we look at that against Philly, Obviously, getting Williams back and Pearsall will help open some things up. How much do you think the Niners offense can get back to that special version that they were the last couple of weeks before the Seattle game?
I don't, going into the Seattle game, I really knew it was going to be hard. And I was searching all week. Where is their weakness? Where is Seattle weak defensively? Where can we attack? And, I thought Brock would run the ball more with design quarterback runs, maybe some zone reads like he's been doing late in the year in Cleveland against the Bears. I know it was in the game plan. They just couldn't get to it. That was one area. Maybe attack Greek Woolen a little bit. I don't know. Exploit the middle linebackers. But as I said, Jones the fourth is a really good player, and they've got, the guy that intercepted the ball from Christian 42 is Trey Thomas is a good player. So I didn't see any weaknesses on Seattle. I didn't know what Kyle was going to do, honestly. I just think we wanted to line up and try to play them, and they just suffocated us. So I knew it would be hard. I didn't think it was going to be that hard. Where it was, we scored 3 points. Let's be honest here. Right. So this game, I think at moments it'll be hard. I think there'll be moments where Jalen Carter, number 98, is unblockable. And he takes down Cooney or Spencer Burford or Jake Brindell, whoever he's over, and just tosses them to the side, and Mean Joe greens them. I mean, that's he's just a great player. And Jordan Davis started a little slower in his career, number 90. He's that good of a player. Smith, the outside rush guy. They got this guy, 58, Hunt, that's dominant, that was converted safety. You see a lot of safeties become linebackers. You don't see safeties become defensive ends in the NFL, but that's the breed of athlete we're looking at. And he is a playmaker, takes the ball away, sacks the quarterback. He's a problem. And then their secondary is so good. Quinyon Mitchell is, obviously Surtain in the AFC with Denver is the reigning defensive player of the year. He had a lot of injuries this year. He's a great cover guy. This guy is probably the best in the NFC and maybe the best in the NFL. He man matches guys. He does play what they call the boundary corner. So he plays whatever hash mark the ball is on, he'll be on that side of the field, the shorter side. The hash marks in pro football are not nearly as wide as college. You see that a lot in college. Certain elite players in the NFL play boundary and field, like J.C. Horn of Carolina, the guy that intercepted Brock a couple of times in that game. He does that, and that's what Quinyon Mitchell does. The other guy, I think he can attack Adoree Jackson a little bit. That'd be the one area maybe you could get after them. I know when he was a New York Giant, Kyle went at him a lot. He'll be an outside corner, and then they move Cooper DeJean, goes inside, and that guy, what a great cover guy he is, just special. So personnel-wise, they're right there with Seattle, but I think the one thing, Jace, they're just a little young, and they're a little reckless, especially in their D-line. Jalen Carter's a monster. So is Jordan Davis. They will have a lot of stuffs. They may have some sacks. They could take the ball away. They're a problem. But there may be times where you get them going the wrong way. You allow them to stunt and let their body go a certain direction and then just kind of basketball pick them out of the way. Kyle's brilliant at that. And Chris Furster, the run game coordinator. So the Bears game is the one I've been looking at, and the way they ran, and Chicago ran everything. Outside zone, inside power, gap. The Niners have got to run the ball. If Christian McCaffrey, he needs 25 carries in this game, which means that you're getting first downs, you're converting on third down, you're keeping the ball. Maybe 25 touches, but I'd like to see it be 25 runs. And then maybe mix in Brian Robinson Jr. for 7 to 8 more and just try to run the ball. If you don't run the ball effectively, consistently, the volume of runs, which means you're picking up third downs, I'm not going to say it'll be Seattle, but it'll be a lot closer to Seattle than it was against the Bears defense. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, as happy as myself and so many others were to see you back on the call Sunday, Greg, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little upset I didn't see the Santa Claus beard make it to the call itself. Was that a pregame decision? Has that been going on?
No, the beard's been off for a while.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you still had the beard going.
Oh, no. Well, I've been the boy in a bubble for a while. So
yeah.
What happened, you guys know about the beard. The beard was a product of my immunity being zero. I had no white blood cells, and when I was first diagnosed with leukemia, they told me I couldn't shave, couldn't floss my teeth. The shaving part is if you nick your face and bleed, you could die.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't even hear that. All I heard was I have leukemia. I don't care about shaving.
Right.
All of a sudden, 2 weeks later, I look in the mirror and I'm like, I got a beard. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
And then it just got out of control. But as I told you, it was a product. It was my cancer beard.
Gotcha.
And it's, I didn't feel sick. I did, for weeks. I was yellow and sick as hell. And I thought I could die any night. But after that, I'd say early August, I felt better and I didn't feel as sick. And I wanted to remind myself of this ugly growth that was inside my body that I had to eradicate, that I wasn't sure was always there. So I let this ugly growth of gray beard hair all over my face, kind of like Tyson's tattoo, just take over. So,
okay, when you put it that way, then I'm glad we did.
I let it go. So I was told that when I started chemo, that I would lose the hair on my head.
Yeah.
And not the other body hair at all.
Yeah, right.
That is untrue.
Interesting.
For one cycle of chemo, I didn't lose my hair on my head. I wore this thing called a cool cap, which kind of helps that. And then the second cycle, I go into the shower every day, and I got clumps of hair in both hands. I'm like, oh, God. And then all of a sudden, my beard is just falling out all over my chest, all my body hair.
Oh, wow.
I had a free Brazilian.
I was going to say, you save money on your waxing appointments now.
It's amazing. I didn't have to spend a dime, and I was completely hairless. So, what's going on? So the beard just fell out. It just was down to nothing. And then, little short and curlies from my beard would fall into my mouth, and I'm eating them.
Yeah.
So I thought, this beard has got to go. So the beard has been gone, I'd say mid-December, somewhere in there. And that was it just wasn't holding anymore. I wanted to keep it, symbolically shave it off when I was cancer-free and ringing the bell and all that. But the beard had to go because it was going one short and curly at a time. So it just fell out.
Well, where I was going, and as we wrap up here, God dang, that flew. I was going to ask, but then I thought, I shouldn't ask. But then the amount of people on our text line and in our chat that want to know as well. Greg, where did the San Francisco hat come from that you were wearing? And the amount of people that want a piece of this hat, myself included, my goodness, is that your own doing?
No. So, what's the motto of the 49ers season is next man up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I went down, Bob Sargent came up with a brilliant idea, and it was more logistics and, what they all do. And there was 5 different play-by-play announcers that they hired to go into the booth to do my job. Justin Allegre and Troy Clarity and Carlos Ramirez. But the guy who did it the most, and is very close to me and my son Derek, is Guy Haberman.
Yeah.
So Guy did the 3 preseason games on TV. He did, I don't know, maybe half the regular season games. He also does the Big Ten Network and does college football on Saturday. He couldn't do them all. And he's also been an amazing friend to me, sending me Ensure, what I couldn't eat for protein. He sent me a couple of boxes of that and just constantly reaching out to me and sending me his boards. And I would send him all my information that I got on the other team we're playing. And we're more than friends. We've always been, but his civility, humanity, he's family now. So anyway, when we decided that I'd come back and do those last 2 games, I wound up just doing the one. He came up with this hat. He does make hats. He also made the 262 hat that I wear on the show.
Yeah.
Which was for Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. So he'll make a hat and then he'll send me one. And then he one day he asked me, "What's your address?" And I thought he was going to send me more of the insurer. Anyway, it was a hat box, and it had 2 of them in there, and it was San Francisco. And so I've been wearing that a lot the last couple of weeks for Guy. And then he also gave them to everybody in the broadcast booth for the games tonight. So that is from Guy Haberman, and what a great broadcaster he is. But beyond that, and it's a hackneyed cliche you say about people, but for Guy, he is a hell of a guy. He is a way better human being, and he's a really good broadcaster. But he is a exemplary human being that helped guide me and hold my hand throughout this ordeal, like both of you guys have, and how close I've gotten with you, Jason, and talking to you and your wife on the phone. And Jay, we go back years and years, and you reach out to me all the time. So I think we've all, when something like this happens that's so unfortunate to someone, you find out really who has your back. And I can't think of anybody who has not had my back.
Because you're a great guy, Greg.
Yep.
We love you very much. Greg Papa, great to hear you in the booth last week. And hopefully one way or the other we'll be talking next week, but hopefully we're going over how the hell did that happen this time next Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, my friend, and a great show.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.
Yeah.
Got it in. Greg Papa, always awesome to talk to him. And if you missed any of that or all of that, go to YouTube. We archive those there. Also the Sactown Sports app. As we go to break, we will take, should we give away 2?